crafty babes, Andrea here. I'm excited to share what I've done so far in my December daily album for 2018. If you follow me on Instagram, you might know I have decided to do an alphabet style. And I've done this before. I will link to a couple blog posts at my website about that project and when I did it in 2013, I think it was, or maybe 2014. I think it was 2014. I'll link directly so you can see some of those ideas. But for this year, I'm going to do a 6x8 album in a pocket and traveler's notebook, junk journal kind of format, just like I've done for the last several years. And this is actually a temporary album for the moment. It's a Studio Calico album that I normally would use for my family albums, but I am waiting for my Buffalo Plaid, shocker, I know, a 6x8 album from Felicity Jane. So that is in the mail. I made a last minute decision to not use the Persnickety Prints notebook that I had originally set aside for this project. I felt like it was just a bit too confining, and I really needed to be able to move pages around like I normally do. And once I decided on that, that opened up my thoughts for something I could do that was different. And because my kids are older and we don't do Christmassy things every day, and even December-y things, like I'm just not capturing as much as I did when they were younger. And so I figured that maybe this would be a great opportunity for me to go back to an alpha style, to just have some fun with it, see it in a different light now that we're just kind of in different seasons. And I'm really excited about it. So far, I am already on to the letter B, and I'm just only because I have photos for these things and I'm just prepping kind of as I go. But here's what I have so far. So I made this opening page, and I originally designed the alphabet here and the line, and that I designed on the computer, and then everything else was done physically. So I had this cute piece of like paint swash from Illustrated Faith, and then I layered on a ripped piece of tissue paper, stamped on top of the sticker paper here, added a little cluster up here. These are LA Studio mini dated stamps. This is a Carrie Bradford Christmas, these two are. And then some older Felicity Jane products and a really cute red button that I have had for like 3 years and have just finally found a way to use it. I'm really happy with how this came out. I even added a little squiggly, messy kind of border around it. I just feel like I need to, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting the groove of messy but clean. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm kind of making it a thing. On the inside, I used an LA Studio paper and a library card pocket, and I put a little card in here from In a Creative Bubble. And here I used one of the, I guess these are tags, the printables from the Retro Hip magazine holiday issue. These are created exclusively for that issue by LME Creative, and I will link to her and all the other stuff that I'm using. I'll link that in the description. And just made kind of a little opening with our name. And then here are the things that I want this Christmas. And so I just wrote a bunch of stuff out, and I really love doing little things like this to where you turn the stamp sideways, or just adding little things of interest. I like making things hang off the edge, and I'm going to be doing some of these borders. Like I just kind of like how it finishes things out and makes things look a little, like I don't want to use the word whimsical, and I don't really know the right term for it, but it just makes it feel like not as structured. And I'm kind of digging that right now. I don't have anything over here, but I'll probably end up putting just a filler 6x8 page in here. And actually I made, let me grab these. I made these in Photoshop. So I made this, it is going to be a 6x8, and I printed the crop marks because I wouldn't be able to see that. but I just used a fun font that I like, and I'm gonna trim that out, and then maybe that will go right here because it looks nice against the white background. But I kind of like the idea of having it like this as an actual transparency so that you can see through it. So maybe I will still use this as a filler card and put this in somewhere else. But I printed this on transparency paper. And then I did this one too, and this is an actual 3x4 card from In a Creative Bubble, but I decided to blow it up, make it 6x8, and then I actually took one of her traveler's notebook pages and made it a little bit smaller, and then took one of the honeys from the Reset Girl Sparkle collection and cut her out in Photoshop and placed her here. So I'll be using these in different areas, but printing on transparency paper is super fun. Anyway, here is my A section. So I'll be making these little, I guess just letter markers. Sometimes they'll be like elaborate like this. Sometimes they might be very simple, and I'll show you a simple one here in just a sec. So I'm just having fun doing layers and clustering. And then I have, I forgot to print that out, but I do have on Instagram, and I will have a blog post about this, and so I'll also post it there, but it's the image that I made that has all the words that I'm going to be using for each letter. And so Advent was one of them, and I am using things that start with A, and I'm kind of just throwing things in that make sense to me. So it's not always going to be everything in each letter, but something about the letter will correspond with the photo or the story or something. It'll go in the right place. And this is a merry little Christmas. And I started off with my mug in front of the tree, and then just a coordinating card here. At home is going to be under the A category because I already had all of these pictures ready to go. I really wanted to get these scrapped, and I love how it's just red and black and white. And I used a bunch of different Felicity Jane and Target alphas, did a little date stamp for when I got all my decorations out, this little vintage price tag on a beautiful buffalo plaid that I've been savoring for a couple of years now, but I'm getting toward the end of this particular page or sheet of paper. And on the other side, a little bit more about the decorations at home. All is bright, home for the holidays, and around here. So those are kind of just how I'm justifying using these in the A category. Also more just about around the house. And then I have prepped a page for around town. So I plan to, we want to go look at lights. So I'll either put a little photo here, or I'll do some photo here and some journaling, or, but I've prepped the page for that. And then another A is AM, so the morning time. And I used this photo of the sun coming in through my back window, and had fun using some muted tones. And of course, this girl was the inspiration for using like the wood color and the manila. And this washi just goes so perfectly with her trousers. Here is a simple alpha marker, and it's just B is 4, and then I've got the 4 things listed out that I'll be documenting in here. And I've got one page done so far, and it's bags and boxes. And the rest of this album actually holds my extra papers and 6-ring page protectors. And so that's what's in here. It's doubling as a place to store both of these things for the moment. And so on the opposite side of this, I'll probably have a pocket page, or it just depends on what kind of pictures I take with regards to bags and boxes for the holidays. But I finally got to use my little Joy girl from Felicity Jane last year, some cute washi, some Felicity Jane alphas, and then I made this stamp from a Carrie Bradford stamp set that I just got from her, and I made this little tag, and then I adhered a small little vintage price tag to it, tied it all together. So that is what I have so far. I do have a couple of prepped pages for my letter T for the tree, And so I will be just kind of adding things in as I go, and I'll be working more on prepping different pages, and I've got a lot of ideas for all these letters, and I'm really excited to share the rest with you guys. If you have questions, let me know and I'd be happy to answer them. Looking forward to seeing what you guys are doing in your December daily, and I will be following along on Instagram, so just make sure that you are following me on Instagram too. I am at RetroHipMama if you don't already know, and you feel free to subscribe if you don't want to miss anything from my channel. I've got lots more content coming up soon. Thanks guys, bye!